We'll dive
Kimberly,
in.
we're going to dive in. We're going to
Yes.
plumb the depths of this
Yes.
conversation.
Exactly.
We're going to take a bite out of this conversation, Kim, with shark movies. So Kim and I have been talking about this for a while because there is a shark movie that I guess just had a limited release. We were talking about this morning. It's the Black Demon. Like it was in April. It had like a limited theatrical release, but I guess it's not out yet, like streaming or anything. So I don't know.
I'm so confused.
Yeah, when you kind of posed that question to me, I did a little digging and I'm the same way. Like I can't really figure out like how to watch it. Like I don't know if it's just kind of in this weird transition between being in theaters to like coming home platforms, I guess, but
a while because there were all these reviews and I'm like, reviews? How did you see this movie already?
So did you?
I was like, waiting, I want to see it.
And I didn't really read any of the reviews. I just went over to Rotten Tomatoes. Like, did you see? And you saw the note I put in there about like the score, which like
I saw the score.
9%, which is outstanding, obviously. But again, the audience score was like pretty high. It was like 70-something%. And really, honestly, like I kind of so sometimes I agree with the critic score, but like the audience score, especially for a movie like this, like The Black Demon, I think is probably more representative of what people want, right? Like, I mean, it's not supposed to be high art, I don't think. So.
Right. I'm not expecting a quality film that's going to have me questioning my philosophical beliefs. I just want to see a shark attack people. Like
that's it. And generally, if any movie has that, it doesn't really matter what else is going on. If a shark is attacking somebody, like I'm good with it. It doesn't matter what kind of movie it is. Like,
almost. We'll get to that. Almost.
So what Kim and I decided to do was think about, I guess, our favorite shark movies and maybe not so favorite. I mean, we can talk about some of the bad ones too. But it was funny. We were just discussing this. And when I was putting this list together, I just had to really think hard about, have I seen that one? Like because the plots are almost always the same. Like somebody gets lost in the ocean or something happens where there's a shark or multiple sharks and they have to survive that. And so now do you want to start? Do you want to tell us? I mean, and I'm not doing this in any kind of like order as far as like favorite to least favorite. I just lumped all of my shark movies together in one list. So I don't know how you want
to do a favorite to least favorite. Well, so I ranked them more in like, and I guess this is actually not real that I would redo it, but I know that there's going to be some critique on that. I sort of looked at them as like, okay, I've got to watch a shark movie. Which ones would I pick first? Like, not necessarily my favorites. Like, I think they're the best, but I would prefer to watch them.
Yeah. That's a good way to do it.
That I would say quality film is not as high quality as like other shark movies. But if I had to sit down with pizza and beer and watch a shark movie, I'm going to one of these. Like,
that's a good way to organize it. I mean, all of mine are just ones that I would totally sit and watch, like if I caught them on TV, like that kind of thing.
Yes. So, and that's where I get my top two. And I think we have the same top two.
Probably.
Because obviously Jaws is like the pinnacle shark movie.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, not only is it the best shark movie, it's just one of the best movies, like, period.
Yes, it's also it's also a great movie. But I would say it's a very different kind of movie from Deep Blue Sea.
Which I assume is your second choice or like up there with you. Yeah.
And it's like, okay, if I had to sit down and watch a shark movie, it would really depend on my mood. Like, am I in the mood for more of like a story sort of driven character, man versus shark, then I'll go with Jaws. But if I like want more of like an entertaining sort of, I might go like fast paced. We're getting lots of deaths and we're seeing it, and we got to hide in an oven and attack a shark. Like,
and is it LL Cool J? I think LL Cool J is in that one, right? Like, yeah. So, I mean, and I'll just start by talking about Jaws briefly because I don't like the thing is, I'm not sure what else there is to say about it because it's just like one of the best films ever made. Like, okay, so first of all, Steven Spielberg, this is like his first blockbuster, like his first big movie. And it's widely credited as creating the summer blockbuster. Like this movie is the one that is sort of acknowledged as having done that. Yeah, what I was just saying was, with Jaws, it's just almost, I don't know if I would say it's a perfectly made movie, but like maybe, like, I mean, just the directing is amazing. Like everything about it, the characters.
Pretty close to a perfect movie. I don't know that I have any like glaring faults or criticisms.
Yeah, I can't think of anything, honestly, and I think just the way and I think it was by necessity that it kind of ended up the way that it did in terms of not really showing the shark until later in the film, but, like, that buildup is just awesome. Just everything about it is great, and even, honestly, like, that whole scene where Quint gets eaten, like, that is just a gruesomely disturbing scene. Like, I can remember seeing that as a kid and being like, "Holy crap," like, just blood spraying out, the whole thing, you know?
And I know I've mentioned this before. I really think you should read the book because it's very different.
Is it so not do you think the book is better or worse?
I don't think it is either because it is so different. Like
Okay,
there are some big differences that in my opinion make the book like a different story
okay, okay.
than the movie.
So, yeah, and I feel like I could be completely wrong and just misremembering this, but I feel like it was Peter Benchley who wrote the book, right?
Yeah.
I feel like he wasn't always a huge fan of what was going on with the movie. Like, I don't think
I feel like that's what I've heard, but
yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, I love the movie, so I've got and in fact, we were talking earlier, do we have any, like, shark props for this? Like, I have my Funko Brody here and my Funko Hooper here. Like, I mean, again, one of my favorite movies. I would say this is in my top 5, honestly, like, Raiders of the Lost Ark, The Matrix, Jaws. I mean, like, they're all kind of up there for me, so,
Yeah. Yeah. And it's like one of those it's probably one of the first like scary movies I ever really saw and like I am terrified of the water. Like for a lot of reasons this being one of them and but like it holds that place in my heart for me now. Like
and
oh
it does
thank
it
you.
does it seem crazy to you? I mean, again, it was a different time period, but crazy that it's rated PG. Like, it's just PG, like, before
I don't think
PG-13,
I knew that. Oh
it's
my
rated
god.
PG, yeah.
No,
Yeah,
that would be a PG-13 for sure
when
today.
I'm, like, 100% sure, but now I'm double checking myself, but yeah, like, it's one of those movies that I don't like, it's not rated R because PG-13 didn't exist at that time.
Right.
Um, let's see, Jaws. Yeah, PG. It's rated PG, so
And I've told you that like Owen knows about Jaws. He knows there's a shark movie that he can't watch because I think it's too scary. And it's because like it I might even almost have him watch Deep Blue Sea or The Meg. I tried to have him watch a little bit of The Meg and he got scared. But like because Jaws is truly like chilling. Like
yeah.
the lead up and the not being able to see the shark when she's dying in the first scene. Like that's scary.
Yeah. Am I just to check, am I cutting out? Because I can see
Nope.
my, like, internet okay, I'm good. Just making sure. I saw, like, my internet thing disappear and come back up, but
Oh,
anyway,
nope, nope. It was all
like,
good.
I mean, to me, honestly, like, even besides the actual scenes with the shark, like, the mechanical shark that are included, the USS Indianapolis, like, monologue
Oh, I
speech, like,
know.
I mean,
Yeah.
like, that whole thing because that's a true story too, or based on a true story, like,
I've
that
seen like a documentary about it.
yeah, unless that's crazy.
And
And it
like they were
actually
talking about all the sharks that came up and like ate it was that it's horrifying to listen to people talk about it. The
yeah.
real story.
And I mean, it's obviously a different situation, but it makes me think of another movie that's on my list that it's been a long time since I've seen. And it might be on your list too, but we'll talk about it here in a little bit. We'll see. We'll see if this one made your list or not. Because it's not. I don't know if it's really a true shark movie, but it is
Oh.
also. So I don't know. We'll talk about it. So
We
yeah, I
might
mean,
also have to
Jaws.
have like a separate creature review where we go into any like alligators, werewolves, spiders, like I don't know, anything with
Well,
legs and
now
a
and all of this is making me. It's not a shark, but it's making me want to rewatch Lake Placid, which I have not
I
seen in
love Lake
forever. It's been a
Placid. Yeah.
long time since I've seen that movie, but yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's a good one.
So, I mean, okay, Jaws. Anything else you want to say about Jaws? I mean, again, it's just a classic film, like one of the
It
best
is.
ever made. So I don't know what else to say, really. But
No, it is. But that's where I feel bad being like Jaws or Deep Blue Sea, Jaws or Deep Blue Sea. But like they're so different to me that
they
like
are.
I don't want
We
the other one to get offended if I pick another.
well, when I was putting this list together, I almost felt bad for all the other movies on this list because, so in my, this is just my opinion. Like, I think that Jaws is not only it's the best shark movie on my list, but just the best movie on my list. Like, it's to me,
Yeah.
it does both of those things. So
Yes.
but again, you're right. It's a very different movie than the number 2 on my list, which
Yeah.
is Deep Blue Sea, and I assume that's also number 2
Yes.
on your list. Yeah, I love that movie too. So
Yes, I very much that is a movie I probably watch at least once a year. And I actually almost watched it very recently, and then I think I ended up watching like Hereditary instead. I was like, oh, let me watch something.
Which you absolutely loved, right?
I've been meaning to talk to you about. I am a little mad that you had me watch that because, like,
mad. Why are you mad? What's wrong with Hereditary?
Because when I'm trying to fall asleep at night, there's one image from that movie that haunts me in a very disturbing way, and I wish I didn't have that image in my head.
Can I know this is not shark related, but can I ask which like moment from the movie it is?
It's the flash of the head on the road of the little girl's head.
Yeah, that scene is just, and like the whole, like he gets home and just goes inside and goes to bed. Like
that is the most disturbing part of that movie, because it's not even the entity or the, like, that was an accident. Like, that just happened to them, and like that is horrifying. So yeah, but I should have just watched Deep Blue Sea instead.
It's a super unsettling movie for sure. But anyway, yeah. So okay, Deep Blue Sea, completely absurd and ridiculous, but it has one of my favorite moments from any movie. Is it really that
absurd and ridiculous? What do you mean, sir? It's not. What about it is so absurd? They're trying to cure Alzheimer's with sharks.
But you know what? I'm sure right now there is some kind of government experiment happening where they're trying to make sharks more intelligent, and then they're going to break out, and
it's not going to be great. They were trying to make the sharks more intelligent. It just happened.
You're right. It was a byproduct of the research that they were conducting.
They were trying to create dinosaurs that could self-reproduce, but they did. Okay, life will find a way. The sharks will get smarter. Okay, it's the same thing.
Now, what would you say? And it's got to be the same thing I'm thinking of. But what is your favorite moment from this movie?
I think I know what your favorite moment is, but it's probably not my favorite moment. Only okay. Like, it's good. I think your favorite moment was when Samuel L. Jackson gets
like easily. It's hilarious. Yes.
Yes, and it's a great moment. It absolutely, you don't see. I did not see it coming.
No, I didn't
Samuel
either.
L. Jackson. So you're like, he's probably going to survive this thing. Spoiler alert: he does not. But
it was one of those things where it just felt like, I'm sure they were putting this script together and they were like, what if he's delivering this monologue and he just gets like eaten, you know? And it's perfect. Like, it's just perfect the way it works out. Yeah.
It's not my favorite. And I don't know if I have like a favorite moment, but I will say, to me, one of the most disturbing moments is when the guy whose arm gets taken off is in the stretcher, and the shark gets him from the sky and then throws him at the glass. And his wife is and like, they just know, like, they're never going to see each other again. Like, he's definitely dead now. Like, sorry, we're all dead. Like, I don't know. And he's just staring at her from the glass cracking. I like that. I've got
to remind myself now, like, I feel like that's Stellan Skarsgård who plays that character. Like, isn't that same actor? I think.
It's a recognizable person. I just don't know that particular.
I think that's who it is. I'm going back to look now. Yes, totally. That's who it is. I just looked it up. Yeah.
There's a handful of recognizable people in this movie beyond just even like the big names like Samuel L. Jackson, stuff like that. Yeah. But that's like a moment that lingers with me from the movie, because it's so sad, but I think it's also it's just a great moment, and everything goes downhill from there. So many great deaths. So many.
That's the hallmark of a good shark movie. Like, if there are a lot of good deaths, then you know that it's done something right.
Yes, so many good shark deaths. So yes, I might watch Deep Blue Sea later today, just because
you're kind of making me want to rewatch it too. And because I've resurrected this VHS player, like, I kind of want to see if I've got it somewhere on VHS, just to, like, because that's where I first saw it. But yeah, like, it's such a good movie. And I think there were 2 sequels.
Really? I don't even know.
I watched one of them, and it honestly was not that bad. Like, it was not nearly the catastrophe I was kind of expecting. And I can't remember if it was the second or third one, but it was entertaining. And so that is one thing I'll say. Out of all the movies on my list, if we're talking about like sheer entertainment value, it might be this one, or
that's fine. Jaws or Deep Blue Sea. It depends on the movie.
Right. It might be this one, or there's another one on my list that I'm guessing is also on your list that's pretty high up there also. Starts with an M.
Is it The Meg?
It's The Meg. Yeah.
That's my third one.
Okay. That was not my third one, but it is on my list.
It's my third one only because again, if I'm going to watch a shark movie, what am I going to put on? I've watched The Meg more than once. If it's on TV, I'm going to watch it. Like, if I need something to watch someday, I'll put it on. Like, I genuinely like that movie. I actually, like, enjoy the story and the characters. I like it.
I like it a lot. I do think there are some scenes where the acting is a little bit distracting. Like the acting is not great in that movie. Not every character that way, but like there are some moments where I'm like, this is pretty stilted. Like this is not great, but because it's so entertaining, I don't care. Like ultimately,
Right. Well, and Rainn Wilson is in it, and like
yeah.
plays the bad guy. You find out like.
Well, and what is that one line he has where he's like, "Do you guys have like a tracker? Anybody watch Shark Week?" Like, and they're like, "Oh yeah, we should put a tracking device on it." And he's like, "You're welcome." But yeah, like it's really entertaining. And in fact, I think with the second one, which I was just looking to see the release date, I think it's like August, like early August, something like that.
Yeah.
We definitely need to do like an in the theater review of that one, like 100%. Like that's going to be one that I think. So, and I'll talk. There's no way Erica's going to see that. I was going to say, well, we should do like a double date, but there's just no way she's going to see the Meg.
If I asked him to nicely, but he'd be like,
yeah,
I'd rather do something else.
He's not. Is he a big fan of shark movies or not really? Like,
I don't think he cares either way. Like he likes Jaws, you know, because it's a good movie. I don't think that he cares. I don't like. It wouldn't be his first choice.
Yeah,
but that's okay.
So the Meg. Well, I guess are we done with Deep Blue Sea? Are we done talking about
Okay.
Because that's got. And I'm trying to remember how that in the end doesn't the shark. They blow it up, right? Like they shoot it with
so
like
the woman who creates it all has to sacrifice herself. She slashes her arms and jumps into the water to get it away from the fence. And then it eats her and they're able to shoot it and explode it.
Right. I can't remember why it explodes though. Like, I mean, I know they like electrocute it or something, or like, is there like a bomb tied to it? I can't remember why it actually blows up.
Whatever they shoot it with. Oh, you know what? I think they shoot it with something that's attached to like a battery type thing.
Yeah. I just don't remember why it like blows up, or you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Maybe there was an oxygen tank in its mouth, and then somebody says, "Smile, you son of a bitch," and then just like shoots it and it blows. That's a different movie. Sorry.
Yes.
So the Meg, right? We were just talking about the Meg. Again, just pure entertainment value. It really is one of those movies that, like, to me, that's I mean, I'll see just about anything in a theater, but like that's a really fun theater experience. Like just seeing something like that on a big screen. Loved it. I really don't have any other than the acting here and there, but like I don't know what I would have expected with anything like the Meg, but like it just the whole premise of like, oh, there's this like layer of ocean water that seals in ancient, sharks, and apparently with the sequel, other things like giant squids and that kind of stuff. That, I don't know. It's a cool idea of how can we get a megalodon into a modern environment? Like that's kind of all it is, really.
And I think it is smart because I mean there's so much about the ocean we don't know and we haven't explored. And so I think that's a very real possibility that there would be something like that. I don't think there's a real possibility there's a megalodon down there, but like that something like that could exist, that type of atmosphere, I guess.
This is why I think you're really going to enjoy The Abyss when we sit down and watch that. The possibility of like what is down there, we don't know, but yeah,
we don't know, and that's what's so terrifying. That's why I don't like the water. No, thank you, sir. I will not.
So you don't like going to the beach or swimming or any of that kind of stuff?
I like putting my feet in the waves, and then that's about it.
Okay. I still love the ocean. Like I mean, you know this, like I grew up in Eastern North Carolina and we used to spend all summer at the beach. And like, even now I'll go out and swim, but like Erica's kind of not really all about that.
No. And especially like, I just saw something about some shark that pinged off Myrtle Beach.
Yeah. I saw that. It was a great white, right? Yeah.
So when we go in a couple weeks, I'm going to be like, okay, Owen, you can walk up until your ankles, which he can't swim. So he won't anyways. So like, I just remember, I think it was mine and Matt's honeymoon in Myrtle Beach. Matt can't swim. And he was like going out in the ocean. And I'm like, what are you doing? Like, you can't swim. You're getting out pretty far. The waves are big. Like, no. And I watched a lot of Shark Attack documentaries.
Right. So that freaks you out, I'm sure.
I've seen a lot of them. And they always happen in shallow water. And so I'm like, get the heck out of here. Like, no.
I always think of that scene from Jaws where the kid's on the raft and it's just like a swell of red, like, and then they're looking for the dog, Pippin, or whatever. But yeah. And the sticks floating in the water. So I love the Meg. I mean,
Yeah.
I think my favorite moment from that movie is kind of like Deep Blue Sea, where they've got the shark on the back of the boat and they're taking pictures with it, and the guy's in the water, and the even bigger megalodon comes up
Yes.
and,
Yes.
and takes it. Yeah, and it's been a while since I've watched it from start to finish, but I remember toward the end, like the Meg ends up in like a populated area or something, and
Yeah.
yeah,
There's something like that. Kind of. Yeah. I've only
yeah,
seen it twice, but yes.
yeah. So now this is where we might start seeing some different movies show up, maybe, but maybe not. I don't know. So the third movie I actually had on my list was
Yeah.
The Shallows. Have you seen The Shallows?
I have seen The Shallows, and I have it on my sub list. And it's the first
Okay.
one on my sub list that is like, that's a good movie, and I would watch it again. But if I had to choose a shark movie to put on, it wouldn't be that one.
Yeah, I saw it one time. I just thought it was pretty well made.
It is, absolutely.
It was pretty intense. Like and I think my thing is like it's been such a long time that I've seen a really good shark movie. Like one that
Yeah.
The Meg may have been the last one. I mean, I don't know, in
Yeah.
terms of like recent years, like I don't know what else there would have been. So I think because of that, it just was like, oh wow, it's actually like a good shark movie. You just don't see those that
It is.
often.
It's absolutely a quality movie. I love Blake Lively. I think it does a lot of really good tension building. But as far as like an entertainment movie, like if I wanted to watch something to be entertained, I wouldn't watch that. And not because of any bad reason. Like that's just not my particular vibe of entertainment.
Right. Now, so that was okay. So that was my next one. What was your next one? What did you have next on your list?
So again, this has nothing to do with quality and everything to do with entertainment.
Okay.
Jaws 3.
Now, okay, I have seen, I think, all of the Jaws sequels. Just remind me, which one was that one? Like, what were they doing in that movie? I can't remember. Was that the 3D one? Oh my God, Kim.
It's the one where they work at that SeaWorld place.
Yes. Is that the one where like the non-moving shark just crashes into the glass and it shatters? Like it's literally like moving. It's moving toward like I remember there's a scene, and if I find it, I'll splice it into here. But it's moving toward the glass, and like it's not swimming; it's just like a straight line into the glass. That is hysterical. So yes, I will give it that. Like it was really funny.
Like Jaws 3 is my comfort movie. That's like Jaws 3 and a ham and bacon deep dish pizza from Domino's is like that's my comfort.
You know what? I can totally appreciate that. Like I totally appreciate that. That's awesome.
If I was picking movies to watch, Jaws 3, and Matt makes fun of me all the time for it, but Jaws 3 is on, I'm watching Jaws 3.
So now because it's been so long since I've seen it, what's your favorite part of that movie? Like, is there a certain scene or anything that just stands out?
I just like the premise that there's this underwater SeaWorld tunnel thing and they all get trapped down there. And I like, so there is this really great scene where they have all the I don't know what they call the water skiers. They're doing their little show and the shark fin comes up. And like that's terrifying. And then the girl sees it and freaks out and they all tumble into the water. And so I that's probably my favorite moment from that particular movie.
Yeah.
I like
so I'm looking at my list. All right. So the next one, I wonder if this is going to be on yours. So the next one for me is 47 Meters Down.
I do not like that movie.
You don't. So what? Can I ask why you don't like it?
Well, the ending sucks.
I honestly, and this is probably, it's something that I should have gone back and checked. So it's been a while since I've seen it. I don't remember much about the ending. I just remember that I really like the premise of like the claustrophobic, like being trapped in a shark cage underwater, trying to figure out how you're going to get out, that kind of thing.
It's a strong premise, and I love Mandy Moore. But I guess the moment that two young women look at a rusty chain from some rando guy being like, is this like, you deserve to be dead. Like, I'm sorry. At that moment, I don't care about you. You're idiots. And so whatever happens next is your own fault. Like, of course you got trapped underwater.
That's a valid criticism. I mean, it really is. Like, it's stupid. I mean, like if I were on a trip with Erica and it's like, oh, we're gonna do some shark cage, she would take one look at that boat and be like, there is no way in hell I'm getting on this boat. Like, it's just not gonna happen.
No, exactly. Yeah. And the ending, as I remember it, is sort of one of those like false endings where she like thinks they've been saved, but it's just because like whatever has gotten to her head.
You're right. That's right, because
And
it
I
was almost
do
like
not like that.
it was like an asphyxiation,
Yes.
like hallucination kind of thing. You're
Mhm.
right. I totally
Yeah.
forgot about that. Yeah, yeah. Well,
Yeah.
so and apparently there is a sequel called 47 Meters Down Uncaged, which has
Yes.
decently good reviews on IMDb. Like I
Yeah.
haven't seen
When I
it,
was
so I don't.
looking at a list of shark movies, it was above some other movies. It was listed up there as an option. Hold
Yeah.
on.
So yeah, so that's all right. So that's mine. So what do you have next on your list?
Have you seen Shark Night?
No, but the reason I'm familiar with it is I was looking at kind of a list of shark movies, and that one was on there, and I was like, oh, I should watch that. But
I
so
like Shark Night.
okay,
I like Shark Night because hold on, you froze again, and I just want
yeah,
to
I
make
can
sure.
see. Can you still hear me?
I can still hear you just
Yeah,
fine.
I can see that I'm frozen, and it's a really weird face, and I kind of hate it. But anyway, maybe
Um,
maybe it'll. I don't know. I don't know
we'll
what's going on.
we'll see what happens. So it feels a little weird, but Shark Night, I was thinking about why I like it so much is because to me it feels like a horror movie with a shark. Like you've got the stereotypical teenage characters going out for a party night at the beach house, and then
Yeah.
they're getting killed off one by one. It just so happens that what's killing them off is a shark. And then there's a sort of a twist at the end and things like that. But I like Shark Night. I think some of the story arcs and the characters are a little too cliche, but
Okay.
it's a good shark movie in my opinion. It does something different.
When did
Which
that movie come out? I
oh,
don't.
I
I
don't,
mean, I
I
feel like I
don't
saw.
know.
Yeah. Okay. Is it? Do you know if it's on like Netflix or potentially something?
I watched
Probably.
it semi recently, so it's got to be on something because I don't own it, but I'm not sure. So
Um.
I had Shark Night. You're still
I'm gonna.
frozen, by the way.
I know, I can see it. It's really weird and creeping me out. What I'm gonna totally do though is, as I edit this, I'm gonna put a picture of a shark over my head, and we'll just keep going. And
Are you
it'll
sure?
be.
You don't want
Yeah.
to like I don't know if you like back I don't know what happens if you
Let me try to stop the camera, and I'll turn it back on and just see if that does anything.
you're still
I'm still frozen. It's all good. I'll just put a shark on there. We'll just pretend like I got eaten, and I'm just. I don't know. I'm just whatever.
We'll see. We'll see.
We'll
So I
see.
had when I did my list of 5 shark movies that I would like select to watch on any random occasion, Shark Night was my 5th one.
Okay. So for me, and I'm gonna be curious if this is, or I am curious if this is on your list. The next one for me is Sharknado.
I've never seen that.
Oh my gosh, I cannot believe you've never
I
seen that.
know. I know. I know. I've never seen it, and I feel like it's just gotten to a point where I like it's too late. Like there's
It's, I
it's too
mean,
late for me.
well, there were 5 of them, I think,
Okay.
and I watched all of them, and they were all about equally good for whatever that's worth. Like, I mean, they were all highly
Okay.
entertaining. I mean,
Yeah.
each one would just get increasingly more ridiculous to the point of, oh, we're gonna put a chainsaw on this person's arm now for the next one, or we're gonna do. I mean, it's literally that kind of movie. But I remember the night it came out, a friend came over, we watched it, and we just laughed like nonstop. I
I
mean,
do
it's
want
just
to see it. I
yeah.
just never did.
To me, it's one of the smartest things the Sci-Fi Channel ever did, which was just to kind of lean into their
Yeah.
reputation for having really dumb movies like that. They like went full into it, and it worked. Like at
Yeah.
least for that
I mean,
series.
it did. I feel like people talk about that movie all the time now.
Yeah, yeah. So Sharknado. I'm trying to think of like a specific moment from that movie. I can't remember if it was the first one, but one of those movies, one of the characters gets eaten and then cuts their way from out from inside the shark out, like with a chainsaw. Like literally, the shark lands on the street, and you just see blood flying everywhere, and it crawls out of the shark. Like yeah. So
Okay.
yeah, yeah. It's pretty much exactly what it sounds like. But anyway. That was the next one, and I've just got one more on my list. What do you have on your
So
list?
that's all for my like I would watch these
Okay,
list. Then I have like just a list of shark movies that I've seen that like the Shallows and 47 meters down. And then have you seen The Requiem? It's the Alicia Silverstone shark movie that came out kind of recently.
no, but I did see it on one of those lists I was looking
Yeah.
at, and so I went to IMDb, and it was like getting trashed. So I mean, again, like I don't know anything about it other than it being on a shark list. So I don't. I
I
clearly you disagree with
don't
that.
feel like you need to see it. Like I watched it. It's a shark movie. And she's in it and she's not bad. I don't like the story, and it's not, you'll be okay if you never see it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, if I don't see it, will it unfreeze me from this picture that I'm currently frozen in now, or
I can't guarantee that.
okay, yeah, I can't either.
Can't make promises.
So so the last movie that I had on my list as far as like shark, and so I don't remember a ton about this one. I just remember it was super unsettling because it's based on a true story. But Open Water.
That is on my sub list because I wouldn't really watch it again, but I do remember watching it and feeling very unsettled. And I do think at some point I also watched like a documentary about the true story as well.
I read a little bit about it when I was putting this list together because I didn't know a ton about it. Do you have a cat in there?
Oh, no, Packer sees a dog outside.
Okay, yeah. My dog is laying next to me and snoring very loudly, but hopefully the microphone is not picking that up. But anyway, yeah, like, and actually I went back today when I was kind of looking at some just clips to remind myself, like the ending of it is super crazy too. I mean, it's,
I don't remember the exact end, but I was doing something similar yesterday because for me, Open Water and The Reef.
I have not seen The Reef.
I think I like The Reef better.
Okay.
Because it's more of like there's a capsized boat and a group of people are going to try to get to land, and then obviously shark. And I remember from The Reef feeling really unsettled with the way it was shot because it's just very much all these close-ups on just the four of them. And something is there, but you don't know when it's going to enter the frame or who it's going to get. And it like, I also remember watching it right after I'd given birth. And so like, I was probably in a state of high emotions anyways.
Yeah.
But like, I remember being very unsettled watching The Reef.
Is that a newish movie or not?
It's newer than Open Water, but I think when I was looking at The Reef, I think it was like 2010.
Okay, yeah, because Open Water was like 2003. I mean, it had been a long time. Yeah.
Yeah. And I remember one of the things I had read about or watched about when I was looking at Open Water was like, there were theories that like they did it on purpose.
Yeah.
Like it was a suicide mission, like
but then, well, and I saw when I was kind of digging into this today a little bit, like I guess eventually, so not only did they find their diving gear, which like, I guess the wetsuits had rips in it, but it would look like rips that were from like coral, not like a shark attack.
Yeah.
But what they said they think happened, I mean, I guess like their best guess, of course, is that they eventually got delirious due to dehydration and took off their stuff and ended up drowning. Like they just kind of went crazy. But they did find a diving slate, apparently. Did you read about that?
Yes.
That basically said like, we're trapped, help us. Like, and I mean, I wouldn't imagine anybody would like fake that or anything, but like I think they just drowned. I mean, I think that's what happened.
It is definitely terrifying, the idea that you would go on this scuba diving, whatever, with a group and then come back up and they're gone.
Oh my gosh. That is like, I mean, that is a nightmare scenario.
Yes. I will never go scuba diving ever, never, ever. So I won't have to worry about that. But
yeah, I won't do that. And I'm not going to skydive. Like, I just don't really, I don't know.
I would skydive.
I know in my head, I would be the one person who pulls the parachute and a bunch of like knives and forks come out. Like it would be like a cartoon. And then I would plummet and it wouldn't be awesome. And yeah.
I don't feel like that would happen. There was just a couple of years ago, I read a story about a girl who went scuba diving with her mother and her mother watched her get torn apart by like 2 or 3 sharks.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. It was like right before Christmas. And so that's why I was like, I'm never ever.
Yeah. There are a lot of things that I want to do in life, but for some reason, scuba diving and skydiving, I'm just like, I'm cool. Like I can just not do those and it's okay. Yeah. Or bungee jumping. Like I don't really want to do that either.
Yeah. I don't need to do that.
I don't want to know how high I can bounce. That wouldn't be good.
Yeah, I'm good. And then, so wait, Shells, Requiem, Reef, Open Water, 47 meters down. And then I think you did watch this one because I think I told you to, and I feel bad about it. Man-Eater.
Did I watch that one? Maybe I did.
That was semi-recently. I was watching it one day and I told you about it and I think you watched it, but it was real bad. It was like the group of friends that go on the island to like hang out and then there's sharks.
I think you told me to watch it, but I'm not sure if I actually did watch it.
Okay, maybe
I don't know.
You don't. Like Shane West is in it. And like Shane West, he was a very well-known actor, and then he did this, and I think says a lot about where his career went.
And it's
But no.
got, I'm looking at it. Yeah, like I don't really know hardly anybody in this cast, but that doesn't mean anything. It's just, it is what it is. So
I guess I just can't stand these shark movies that are like, they try to have too much of a message or a metaphor. Like the Requiem did that, Maneater did that. Like I've lost something. I lost a baby, or I got broken up with, or some tragedy happened to me and I'm just trying to get away. And now there's a shark and I've got to fight for my life to make sure. I'm like, why? Just go on vacation and have a shark try to kill you.
Right. Why can't it just be like
all it has to
a
be
human versus animal thing? Like, yeah. Like it's not a shark movie, but did you ever see that movie The Edge? It had Alec Baldwin and Anthony Hopkins in it.
No.
It's basically about man versus bear, like a grizzly bear. And it's,
Okay.
I mean, there is a subplot for sure, but it's more about like them trying not to get eaten by a bear. But it's a good movie.
I like that. Okay.
Yeah, you would like it. I mean, it came out like maybe like mid to late 90s. So it's got that very kind of strong 90s vibe to it too, but it's good. So anyway, yeah. So did you have any other shark?
Those were the only shark movies that I had on my main list, and then my sub list of like movies that I've seen that I could talk about, but that I don't think I'll ever really watch again.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen, maybe all of the Jaws sequels.
Yeah, I've seen all the Jaws. I own all the Jaws.
Okay, I mean, so of course, like other than the original, I thought the second one was okay, but it felt like it was trying too hard to be like the first. Like it just, it didn't feel like an original movie, really. So
yeah, I absolutely agree. And then the fourth one was just ridiculous in the set. Like the shark has followed them, found them in whatever Caribbean.
This time it's personal or whatever.
I mean, that's what it was. And so, but then I don't know. I love Jaws 3.
Yeah. So I think we will, I would imagine, because I'll see, even if I have to see it by myself, I'll go see it. We'll probably review Meg 2, I would think, when that comes out.
Yes.
But beyond that, do we have anything else on our schedule for the summer as far as movie reviews or things are concerned?
No, but we should. I'm trying to think if there's anything that's like coming out, and I don't know. I feel like there was something else we were gonna do, but now I can't remember.
Well, we're gonna work on a screenplay at some point, right? Like that.
At some point, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I have a document started to do that. So yeah.
And now that I was able to identify a character name, that's gonna make a lot of progress, I'm sure. So
that is literally what will hold me up when writing sometimes, though, is if I don't know what to name my character, then I'm like, I can't do that. I don't know.
So I'm trying to think. Oh, well, what we could review soon, because I think it's going to be streaming soon, is Evil Dead Rise. Like if we wanted to, because it'll be.
Oh, okay, yeah,
it'll be streaming, but like that's so we'll find something to do soon-ish. I mean, I think the next movie review probably that I'll do will be The Flash. I don't know. You probably have no interest in that one, I would think.
I was probably gonna see that because I think Owen might like it.
Well, the thing that I'm excited about with it is that Michael Keaton is in it as Batman, which is awesome.
Yeah. So okay. Yes, I remember that.
So yeah, if you guys see it, we could totally do a review of it. Like if you end up.
I mean, there's also the new Little Mermaid movie.
I'm gonna be honest. Like I have pretty much zero interest in that one. I
mean, I'll be seeing it this weekend. So
you are gonna see it, yeah. I mean, obviously, I'm gonna review Dial of Destiny, but that doesn't come out until like late June. Something like that. That's a while yet. So
I do feel like there were other movies that were coming out, but I don't know.
Yeah. We'll think of something. I like this idea though of like we kind of have a little bit of a summer theme going. Like if there's another summer themed thing we could think of. Like I don't know what else. Maybe like a cruise, a cruise horror movie.
Well, no, it's not summer. I was gonna say Poseidon Adventure, but that's not
Ghost Ship.
That's just ocean
Speed 2 Cruise Control. I don't think we want to see that one. I don't know.
No, I'm good.
Yeah.
We could just keep going creature themed and do like Lake Placid and Alligator and
actually, you know what? Let's do that because I actually just saw a really good alligator movie like a year or two ago. What was that movie called? It was like it took place in Florida during a hurricane.
I know exactly which one you're talking about. I also saw that.
Yeah, and I liked it. I thought it was good. Oh, so we've got a differing opinion. I love it. So we'll have to talk about that. But I'm
So
trying to think what
maybe
other
alligator movies.
I mean, there was Lake Placid. There was that one. I feel like there's another.
There is. I think it's called Alligator, but it came out a long time ago,
It's got
and
a super creative title like that.
it traumatized me. Alligator movie, 1980.
Okay.
Yeah, it came out in 1980. And I obviously watched it when I was a little kid, not in 1980. I wasn't born yet. But yeah, there's a scene from that movie that traumatized me for life.
So we so we can watch that, and then it had a sequel in
It did.
1991 called Alligator 2: The Mutation.
I
So
see that.
so we could
Crawl. That was the name of that.
Well, Crawl. You're right. Yep, Crawl.
And then there's Lake Placid. There's something called Primeval that came out in 2007.
I see it. Mega Shark versus Crocosaurus. That's kind of a transitional movie that we could review to get to bridge the gap between these two pieces of commentary.
That's true. I do love transitions.
The Great Alligator that came out in 1979. The Great Alligator River. Okay, 1979. Yeah, I don't. But there are some alligator. What about Crocodile Dundee? That's not really the same thing. But we could review. That's a crocodile movie. We could review some alligator movies for sure. And that would be cool.
Has to be alligator only, no crocodiles.
No crocodiles. We're getting very specific here.
Yes.
And then snakes. We could do a snake thing.
That's
Snakes on a plane. Snakes on a plane. Anaconda. There's got to be. I'm sure there's a ton of other snake movies. I would think.
I don't know. I can't think of any
research on it. Kim, I'm sorry that I froze, but I'm going to totally make it look awesome in post production. Do you have any other shark comments about anything?
Not really. I guess my biggest comment would be like, if you can't do it well, don't do it. Like, if I don't need to see any more crappy CGI sharks. In fact, I am curious. It's related to Little Mermaid to see how they do the shark scene in Little Mermaid because it's a live action movie and. Apparently, I've heard that it's actually kind of like a scary moment in the movie with the shark. So, and even the movie in general kind of looks dark in a live action way. So I'm curious. So I will report back on the shark scene.
Okay. Well, and I mean, hopefully, eventually we can review the Black Demon, like whenever it's available to watch. Like, I don't know when that's going to be, but yeah. Okay. Awesome. All right. Well, it was fun as always. We'll be back soon. And yeah, I'm trying to think of a good shark pun to end with, but I've got nothing. How about this, Finn? Wasn't that was at the end of some shark movie, I think. But anyway, we'll just sort of end with that, and that'll be the way to do it.